Yes, welcome to the No Ideas Original Podcast featuring Shannon, Mr. Rob, and Zane. What's good, y'all? How y'all been?
Yo,
Coolin', man. What's up, y'all?
Yo,
Great to be back, man.
it feel like it's been a little minute, huh?
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you know why? Only it's because we showed people the recording we had. The last episode you watched with Sweet LD was recorded some time ago.
Yeah.
So now we back in the lab, especially with more. I get a lot of feedback from people that say that they like the episodes when it's just us also, and there's
Yeah,
nobody
man.
else. We're not interviewing people. Yeah.
I think we should do more of this, just us building, man, and coming up with some great topics to talk about.
So if you're
Yeah.
tuned in to see somebody else, if you're tuned in to see a rap person, an entrepreneur, R&B person, you're not gonna get them tonight. You're stuck with us.
Stuck with us, brother. Good old brothers.
But yo, we got good topics
Still some
though.
of the best content, though.
We got good topics though. We're gonna talk about what everybody's been talking about all week: the Locks versus Dipset, and give our final thoughts. We're gonna talk about Kyrie Irving and his feelings on the Kyrie 8 Nike shoe.
Yeah.
Riri is now a billionaire. We'll discuss that. Nas King Disease too. And should the baby have apologized? So, yo, let's get right into it because I'm sure we all have a lot to say as it relates to the Locks versus Dipset and final thoughts. Zane, I want to start with you because I saw you on Instagram and you were really pro Dipset and thought that Dipset had a chance to pull this out. Here we are, the aftermath. What do you think now?
Man, it was atrocious, man. I mean, first of all, I think we know that being that Locks had several years ahead of Dipset, being as far as the group and formulating, Locks already knew each other, the odds and ends, where to pick up or the strengths and weaknesses of all three members. Um Dipset didn't really flourish until like the early 2000s or whatever. But Locks showed that their professionalism. Like they had to still deal with a lot of the arrogance of Dipset because Dipset. I mean, come on, all Harlem cats is real arrogant, man. I know that. I got Harlem relatives. I got Harlem friends, a bunch of them. So, but
They
arrogant
flashy.
arrogant in a good sense though. Don't let me
They flashy. Harlem
flashy.
cats are flashy, man.
Yeah, and to me, man, it was just like. Or put it this way, Harlem has a lot of confidence. So the thing about it is that it showed to me, number one, is that it looks like Dipset might have had an initial plan prior to stepping onto that stage. But to me, once they saw the certain sequence of songs that the Locks put out, it kind of just messed up their whole plan. And not to say that Dipset didn't have a backup plan or a C plan, but all of it just didn't matter. Because the Dipset stage performance wasn't good.
Nothing was good.
Song selection to me wasn't good, and to me, if Dipset was gonna go against a powerful household name such as the Locks, the Madison Square Garden, they had to bring Hillwell, J.R. Ryder, and every other Nick and Cranny of somebody that was a part of Dipset. And for them not to do that, it just showed that they was unprepared. But it would have been even worse because I think they still would have lost based upon how the Locks put their stuff together. So it would have been three people against a whole rack of other people if Dipset would have brought the affiliates, and it would have looked even worse. But overall, man, it was a great moment for hip hop, especially to do it in a garden, man. What y'all think?
Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna tell you like this, I think you hit the nail on the head. For me, when I was watching it, one of the main things that stood out is I was like, wow, like yo, this is professionalism on display at an all-time high. And it made, it made me, well, these are three things that stood out to me. One was professionalism, the Locks' professionalism and how serious they took this. Two was, I think, strategy. Like, and I think that Jadakiss has proved to everybody that, strategy is extremely important with verses. Like, I'm sure, I'd be curious to know, like, that they probably worked with their DJ and was like, when they play this record, I want you to play this record as the rebuttal. And then the third one that I think hands down that we all knew going into this was probably the lyricism. The edge of lyricism was always on the Lock side. But when just to go back to professionalism for a second, it kind of made me think of two things. Like, when I used to play competitive sports as a kid, there were times where, like I played on really good teams and we relied on our athleticism and what we had on the team to win. but we would lose, and we would lose to teams that weren't as good because those other teams were more prepared. You know, those other teams, they had the work ethic, they were more in sync, they had a plan, they had everything lined up. And then there were times when I played on a team that they weren't as good, but they would beat the better teams, and they would be better teams because the other teams relied solely on athleticism. And I think that's what I saw that night, that Dipset thought that they were going to be able to solely rely on their catalog and being in Harlem and having that, being in Manhattan and having all that momentum behind them. And, you know, high quality, what they didn't count on was that, the Lox was going to come out prepared. There were two narratives that came out of that night that I really think that while those narratives may be true, I try to stay away from them. One narrative was, well, everybody wanted hip hop won. I'm not one of them dudes who believe in second place trophies. Like, we got to call it what it is. The Lox won. Period. The Lox won. The Lox were better. And then I think the second narrative that's come out and has continued to be perpetuated on social media also was that, it's all about Jada. It's all about Jada, this, that, or whatever. Like, we knew what the Lox was coming in to it. Like, I don't want to diminish Styles P or Sheik Luch performance or their role in the group. Like, that's just always been their role in the group. So, you know, why Jada may have been the spokesperson and got all the memes and all that or whatever. Like, to me, Styles P and Sheik actually performed well also. Yeah. You add that to the mix with the professionalism from the DJ to all three of them, to, you know, them actually being prepared and rehearsing and knowing the words to their songs and everything. Like, it became very apparent to me that I'm like, okay, Dipset thinks that they're just going to win on the strength of playing their records, right, and singing over their records, and that people are going to go crazy. And I think that should be a wake up call for future people who attempt to do this. That, you know, that you got to bring your A game.
Absolutely. And it was, I enjoyed every ounce of it, because it brought us back to how you supposed to view hip hop. How you supposed to view MCs collaborating with their DJ. See, this is you're right. Jada's a Gemini just like you. He planned it out. He sat with the DJ. They went over all of Dipset songs and knew if they play that, play this.
Play this, yep.
If they don't play that, play this first. And he set up the Hushata freestyle. He said that. I seen it coming like, oh, he's about to kill that. But see, that's a hip hop show. That's what these guys, the Harlem cats, they see that Harlem. Just like Harlem, they flashy, man. Harlem, they like the alley-oop, son. They want to throw behind the back and all that, and smile at you while they did a layup and all that, son. But I enjoyed it. It's craftsmanship over flashy, man. You know, we already knew we was going to get an impeccable lyricism show, and sure enough, Jadakiss showed up with that. Even with Styles, I would like for people to hear Styles more, because Styles and Sheik is nasty. Yeah. But Jada was in rare form, son. He picked up from when he took over with Fab. Son. He's like, I know how to do this, and he laid the dudes out, man. And I was surprised at Cam. To be honest with you, I thought I would see. I thought I wouldn't see so much of a rebuttal of spitting your own lyrics, because them guys, they were singing over their shit. That's not a hip hop show. You play the instrumental, you know your spot.
Yo, you know something though? A lot of these dudes don't be knowing they lyrics though.
That's crazy.
A lot of these dudes don't be knowing their lyrics. I was a little disappointed at the fact that they started booing Cam though. That to me, I was like, yo, that's ridiculous. Like, yo, you can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, it was a great show.
It was a great show.
You know, how you call it? Like, yo, for people to start booing him like that to me, I'm like, okay, we definitely could tell we in New York now with this.
You already know.
Like, it was wrong.
New York is a city you can't slip. You gotta come punch for punch. Dipset ain't come punch for punch. I don't think. I just don't think they got joints. I love a lot of their joints, but there's joints that. And I think Zane hit it on the spot. If they had 40 Cal, they had J.R. Ryder, they'd have had Hell Rell up there. Just because the Lox was going into their mixtape shit.
Yeah, but you know what Dipset
Come
fell
on, Dipset got tons of. You kidding me?
But you know what Dipset fell for? Dipset fell for what most people think, that verse is about playing your hit records. You know, like, yo, all right, we got to play whatever we believe are the hit records and whatever the known records are. You're like, those records, those records, even the ones that they had, like the Hell Rouse and the JR Riders and the 40 Cows on, like those records resonate. They resonate, right. But I don't know if they resonate as, with like the larger audience. Like I was saying this to my barber the other day, because he was like, yo, this shit was epic, this, that, or whatever. I was like, yo, it was epic. But I also feel like, that we if you're a person who grew up in a tri-state, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, then it was impactful for you because you're like, yo, this shit is nostalgic. This is everything that I knew from the mid 90s to the mid 2000s, this, that, or whatever. But I wonder, like, what was the impact of it? Numbers aside, like, let's not look at the numbers.
Right.
What was the impact of it? Like, if I was sitting in the Bay Area watching Versus, like, did it resonate to that magnitude? Because you think about it, like for us here, like all three of us like music, and I don't know, I watch probably half of the E40 and the Too Short Verses or whatever. Right. I like some of their songs, but that didn't have the type of impact on me that this had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it was a moment for us, but was it a moment? Like really, like people, hip hop won.
It was. I think it really was, man, because you had people like Bum B check in. He's in Houston. You had other, like Killer Mike, and there were other people that really checked in. This was MCing.
Those are rappers though, Rob.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but they respect the craft. They respect the showmanship. They respect you having a plan when you get up there. A Red Meth, you up there, you know exactly how you gonna come. You know who's gonna spit first, who's gonna spit second. You know exactly when the needle drop, what you gonna do. Mm-hmm. That's a hip hop show. Now, on the other hand, these guys are hip hop celebrities. They were showing you how celebrities, rappers are. This is how we really act when we around each other. We kind of posted up. We chilling. We doing our thing. We flamboyant with it. You know what I mean? Even though that might be coined for Harlem, but that's how the celebrity of, I think, rappers were just portrayed that night.
Plus, you know what, too, fellas? I think we left out a key element that Dipset should have had, man. Big shout out to Vado. I wish Vado was out there because Cameron and Vado, like Vado catalog is crazy alone, but when him and Cam linked up on Bosses mixtapes, I think they did 2, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3. They had a lot of crazy beats on there, a lot of good hit songs as far as for the streets. But they also had they had Jeff Hamilton on stage. They had Jack Dorsey behind them. He was like in the back of the stage. They had a lot of big celebrities out there that came out to see them, and you had all the record industry people up there.
But you can have whoever on stage. If you ain't got the music, that's what they needed on stage. They needed the music, and the records wasn't bad records. They played their good records. Like to me, Cam, I thought Cam was gonna go on his bag when they played Pull It, the joint with him and DMX,
right?
357 joint, like To me, I'm be real. Like, I like Cam, but I feel like Cam's trajectory as an MC has declined. Like when Cam first started, the shit that Cam was out of this world.
You know what's crazy? Cam has had a weird journey. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, when right as Big L passed away, I think his cousin passed away that was rolling with him, and then the whole Mace situation. Mace ends up with Puff. He ends up with Rivera. Then that goes south, and then Mace turns out to be, you know what I'm saying? He was always on the outside looking in. Then he reaches out to Dame. He gets his foot in Rockefeller, but then that turns sour. Mm-hmm. Like, he's best working for himself. He's best being an entrepreneur, promoting himself, than linking up with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it look so odd. And then he's nice on top of that. Like, you know what I mean? He has a weird trajectory on where he's gotten to. Versus Jada and these guys. Jada loves the machine.
Yeah. More reasons why I think that should have been Locks versus G Unit, or even Dipset versus G Unit.
Something. Or State Property. State Property got some songs.
Yeah. Well,
now they're all going on a tour now, son.
That's what I was gonna say, and I think that's good. I definitely think that's a good look. Like, as much as coming into this, I'm like, I looked at it and a lot of people were like, Dipset because you thought about like the anthems and the movement that Dipset had. And the Lox, to me, the Lox has just always been consistent, chugging away. They may not have had that moment or that movement like what Dipset had. And you know what? Here's another way to look at it too. Like,
let me pardon me for interrupt. You know what it is? The Lox came at a time when Puff was very ambitious. Puff know how to put on a show. These guys had the experience of being around Mace, around Biggie.
That's one element.
112, really putting on a stage performance. So they know how to lay songs out. The whole, what's the term?
They know how to perform.
Yeah, they know how to perform. they know how to lay it out. Where Dipset, these are the dudes in front of the bodega, son.
Yeah, but yo, this is what I was saying. Though. I think that how you call it, like the Dipset had a movement. And their movement may have seemed bigger than the Lox based on the time, because Dipset was like early 2000, mid 2000 when viral existed. Like, social media then wasn't what it was now, but there was a MySpace. Right. It was more fan interaction, like direct to consumer online with the internet and stuff like that.
Right.
But the Lox buzz back in the day, I remember being in like high school when the Lox came out and hearing them on mixtapes and stuff like that. Like their buzz was more associated with like grassroots. But it's almost like when you start thinking about like people who have been consistent their whole life, like they may have never gotten to the point where they've had like the mega song that was out of this world, but they've always consistently been there and people have always looked for their product. That's not to say that people won't look for the Dipset product, but I think that Dipset, again, like their music was probably more so encapsulated in that moment. Like, this is a moment, this is our time, this is our movement. And that's not to take anything away from them because, they did make good music, and they do make good music. And the evolution of Jimmy as a rapper over the years has been amazing. Like Jimmy has grown from somebody who couldn't even be on beat to now arguably maybe the best rapper.
This dude is making an album almost every other week. He's either doing it with someone or he's doing shit by himself.
Yeah, and I have genuine concern for Jewels though. Something seems off.
Yeah, I think they all was off though. I think because you gotta figure too, man. We all know the vices that people use in the music industry or just the industry as far as any part of entertainment. But I just think them dudes was just too high, man. I think Lox might have been high too or drinking, but it just looked like Dipset was just too sedated, and they was just going off of like
Santana needs some work. He needs some more songs.
Man.
Jimmy is outworking him. To be honest with you,
Jimmy's outworking a lot of people, man. Jimmy's outworking a lot of people right now.
But Jimmy's putting out some decent stuff. I ain't even gonna front.
Yeah,
I'm listening to all his shit.
Man, turn on Confessions of Fire, Cam's first album, and listen to Me, My Moms, and Jimmy, and listen to Jim Jones rapping on that, where he can't even stay on beat. And then turn on El Capo.
Jada was saying so. What Jada said, that was when he could rhyme.
Yeah. So the evolution of him as an artist. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it was definitely a good versus. But like I said, like the two narratives that I seen the next morning are like, nah, it's like let's be real. Like the Lox won. I don't want to. It's like when you don't want to tell somebody they lost. No.
Period.
It's like you lost. The Lox won. How you call it. And again, like I don't want to diminish what Style and Chic and that DJ brought to the table. Like to me, Zane, you hit the nail on the head with that. Like the professionalism, that was well choreographed, well executed. Like that just fired on all cylinders for them. Exactly. Like that shit went so good for them. I'm like, did Phil Jackson drop the play for them before it? Like,
somebody wrote it down. Son, go left. That's it.
Yeah. Man, on to other news. Did y'all see Kyrie Irving currently in the news where he outed or went off on Nike, telling Nike that he's not supporting the new Kyrie 8s and he's not feeling the new Kyrie 8s. And this got me wondering two things. Like one, I looked at the shoe and I'm like, the shoe has the same silhouette that it's had for years. Like here and there, they made a couple of different changes to it, but for the same part, for the most part, the shoe is the same silhouette. But I it got me thinking, like, if an athlete or if anybody, if you endorse a product and you sign a contract to endorse a product, should the company be able to put out the product without your final approval of what the product is? What do you think about that, Rob?
Well, if it's all contractually obligated, it's what's in the contract. I mean, if it does this, is his input needed? If it's not, then we can go forward without having his input. I think because he's been involved in all other 7 of the shoes he's been in prior. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you have him be involved in this one? And for Nike to go out and do it, they're gonna put out the shoe any goddamn way. They got 1,000, they got 1 million of them shits made. Sorry, brother. But these situations give athletes a little empowerment. You know what I mean? They want to feel like they're inclusive in the design and in the idea and the direction. I mean, I feel Kyrie in that sense. I would like to be a part of the think tank of my own shoe. If my name is on it, what I mean? It's representing me, it's representing my gameplay.
It makes me wonder, like Rob, it makes me wonder exactly what you said, like how much of the contract says anything about creative control. Like, does the contract just say, because for all you know, the contract may say, like, we pay you X amount of dollars, we design the shoe, you test the shoe, you're responsible for wearing the shoe, or does he have creative control, creative say so in it? Because at the end of the day, Nike would want him to like the shoe because they're gonna want him to wear it, right?
Yeah, I will hope so. But he signed in 2011, but they didn't launch until 3 years after that. So it took 3 years to develop a contract where you can agree on how you're gonna put out a shoe, and then he's been involved in all 7 of the prior shoes. So
I wonder if he had involvement in this one. Like, I'm sure he had some type of involvement. Maybe
he said he had nothing to do with this one. And that's why he don't like it.
Wow. What do you think, Zane?
I think just the same as Rob said. I'm sure you'll agree too, Shannon, is that whether you got your first name or your first and last name a part of a shoe, that shoe is a reflection of you. And that's something that can't be erased. So even if you put out the Kyrie Irving, the dunts, and whether those joints look real well or they just look like some garbage and it's not designed safely for a high performance shoe, like you might have, prime example, not to get too off of that, but look at the situation that happened with Zion Williamson. Them shoes were defective. And if you cut at a certain angle or whatever, but Zion is a certain weight, and if you cut a certain way or whatever, you pivot a certain way, that shoe can rip if it's not properly designed to take that force or magnitude of weight. Kyrie Irving, being that he's such a woke person, he speaks a lot of good stuff. You would think that he would want to incorporate himself more into the intricate details as far as the contract is concerned. And I can't really just blame Kyrie. I'll have to blame his manager or his financial advisor, because or agent, whomever, like the person that's giving him advice to make the proper moves. Because at the end of the day, man, it's like it shouldn't be where you have a multi-billion-dollar company such as Nike, like a Fortune 100 company, that is going to give you a contract and you don't know, or you don't have the proper input as far as to put out the design or whatever it's going to be. So, I mean, I tell you what,
how much creative control did he have first, and then if he had, and then if he had any,
he should have been had that from the get go when they made the first shoe, and for the duration of his contract, and then based upon how the scalability of how the shoe does, he could always renegotiate. But the ultimate thing, they paying this man, Nike paying this man $11 million a year.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask both of you this. Like, you're an athlete. You come out of college or you come out of high school, whatever it is, and you're offered by Nike, Adidas, whoever it is. They tell you, we're going to give you $5-6 million a year, and we're going to develop a signature shoe and put your name on it. Is the first thing that's going to come across your mind that, I have to have 100% creative control in the design or the architect of the shoe? Or are you going to be like, I'm going to have my name on a shoe. It's going to be my signature shoe. Like, what do you guys think? What would your? I'm gonna be honest with you. My response would be, I'm gonna have my own shoe. Oh, okay. And you gonna pay me $5 or $6 million? Okay, because the process for them to even do their shoes, that's why it takes so long, Rob. It take a couple of years. They go to Portland, they go to like the Nike lab, and they, they fit them and all that, and they show them prototypes and all that stuff. And they ask them like, yo, what are your favorite shoes that you used to like before, and all that stuff, and all of that stuff gets incorporated into the process. But I'm gonna be real with you, like, yo, they could have gave me the Chanel and paid me $7 a year. If it was a well-crafted shoe, which we know Nike is gonna make a well-crafted shoe, it's not gonna be one of the off-brand joints or whatever. How you call it? Like, yo, Paul George got ugly shoes. How you call it? The Greek Freak, his shoes look kind of ugly. There's a lot of dudes rolling around.
Yo, the Greek Freak joints called smoothies.
How you call it? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to get to the point. I don't know if I'm gonna be. Hold on, let me check the contract for creative control or whatever before I sign it.
I mean, but at least have a decent percentage in that, because this ain't the regular basketball athlete. This is Kyrie Irving we talking about.
The regular basketball athlete. Yo, but what makes it the regular basketball athlete? But the regular basketball athletes ain't getting their own shoe. They not. So how you call it? So the people who get shoes, like nobody ever made how you call it a freaking a shoe for Frank Ntilikina. The Frank Ntilikina.
I mean, no. I mean, as far as for ever since the time frame of athletes that came out, Kyrie is an exceptional player compared to other athletes that probably is way less talented than him, but have probably greater creative control as far as with their brain.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. As if you look at an even playing field, you're not getting a shoe deal unless you're considered an exceptional athlete. That's one. And then with Nike is a machine, bro. Nike is not like you come to them and be like, yo, this is what I want, this, that, or whatever. Because Nike can easily be like, yo, we'd love to have you, but hey, we moving on to the next person now. You see a dude like how you call it. Think about it this way. The flip side of it is you have a dude like Steph Curry who probably got that from Under Armour. And Under Armour put they had made some joints that look like lawnmower, Nike or whatever, mall walkers, and he was rocking them. And he got clowned for them, but he had ownership and creative control in it, because I think he told them, pay me like a piece of the company or something like that.
So to your point, Shai, if Puma, I'm gonna put this in the air. Puma came to me, say, yo, master, we got a Puma for you, and we want you to sponsor this Puma. We $7 million, and I'm a ask. Can I get a little creative design in there? Can I throw my own? Can I put my idea?
That's what I'm saying.
Even if it's 10%, even if if it's like come to colorway, I would want some sort of I did that. My little signature on it. That's just me.
You how you call it? So you don't think that 10%? You don't think he got 10%? Because here's the funny shit. Because he's saying he had no involvement, but the shoe looked exactly the same as the other shoe. So how did he have no? So he had no involvement for shoe 1 through 6.
He probably wanted to go on a different direction, and they didn't. And they probably didn't want to go through. This is the machine. They didn't probably want to go through the material change to change up the sneaker. He might not have wanted that cloth. He might have wanted all leather.
So so here you go.
All his shoes been this clothy feeling.
So to juxtapose that, Rob. So they said, you know what, master, the Air No Ideas Originals we got $7 million for you, but our design team is gonna take care of it. So no, you gotta roll with it. What you gonna say, yo, I'm gonna take the $7 million shoe deal, or I'm gonna go to someplace else where they're gonna give me $2 million and they're gonna give me 50% creative control?
I'm going $2 million, 50% control.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yo, you know why I'm not? Because I like sneakers. I don't know how to design them. I'm like, yo, I'd rather leave it in
Hey, but you know, so something must have happened, because now Kyrie Irving doubled down on his words.
You know what happened?
What? And none of the news about it is in on the internet. It's hard to find it now.
Yo, you know what happened? Kyrie Irving is just being Kyrie Irving. That's just it. Like, yo, Kyrie Irving, yo, you gonna get to a pissing contest with Nike. Kyrie Irving, yo, Nike need to tell Kyrie Irving, yo, check this. I don't know how many shoes he's selling, but they need to say, yo, check this out. We how you call it? I think Li Ning. We gonna release you. You can get you some Air Li Nings, whatever. Or you can sign with Dwayne Wade, and you got 100% creative control and rock whatever you want. Like, I just don't. Yo, I could see honestly if the shoe was something completely different from what his previous shoes. He would have a legitimate argument. I'd be like, yo, come on, why y'all gonna do this man this way or whatever? You making this for him, knowing that all his other shoes had this going on or whatever it is.
So prime example, fellas, people that's listening. We talked about this before we aired, right? I purchased these for my daughter, and she ain't even like them. This was last year. She wore them one time and never wore them again.
Are they purposely two different shoes like that?
Yeah, they what does, but but here's the thing or whatever. Like, yo, I own a pair of Kyries. I own the Kyrie ones, and the Kyrie ones look exactly the same way.
The sole of the shoe, yeah.
Yeah, like it's the same silhouette. It's literally like the same silhouette, the same shoe from year to year. The only drastic change they had, honestly, is from one. Kyrie ones look just like those. Kyrie 2 had the fly strap that went across the shoe or whatever, and then they went back to those. And the only reason why they went to the fly strap across the shoe, honestly, is because what these manufacturers have realized now is that, yo, you need a performance shoe. They need shoes that perform, but they also need shoes that people can wear for nightlife. So it's no longer about, back in the days we would get like the Solo Force or the Solo Flights, Air Flight, the bulky joints that had ankle support or whatever. There was a time where it was taboo to play ball in low cut sneakers, but now mad dudes,
that's right,
in low cut sneakers because they want to go for, yo, this is, you could go from the court to the nightlife with it, So those Kyries or whatever, the joints that he complaining about, they not horrible looking. He could get into an argument over principle with them. I get that. Like, everybody has the right to argue over their principles, and if he all of a sudden want to renegotiate his deal and get creative control.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like, yo, my sense around it is like, if it was me, would I like to have say so in the design of my shoe and for them to come to me and be like, yo, you feeling these or not? Yes. But if they was paying me 10 or 12 million or 7, 8 million or whatever, and they came with the shoe and the shoe looked comparable to the last shoe, I'll be like, yo, I'm cool with it. Whatever. Because the reality of it, yo, as much as we all like Jordan, some of them Jordans is ugly as shit. We know that.
You're right. You are absolutely right, son.
Some of them
I like Jordans. And where we at? We at Jordan 46 now, son. How he still got sneakers?
Yeah, some of them Jordans are ugly as hell. And at this point, you think they're going to Michael Jordan with every shoe and like, yo, Mike, the biggest selling person on your Mike, what you think of these? You feeling these? Hell no. They just stamping his name and logo on it and like, yo, crank them out.
Keep it moving, son. That's it.
So, yeah, go ahead, Zane.
Hey, a side note, one basketball player that I just never agreed with none of their shoes is Carmelo Anthony. Them joints just look, I never liked it.
Yeah, heat for him. For a minute. He had one pair.
He was a jump man.
Yeah. Jordan brand. And on another note, it's funny you say that, Zane, because you from when we had that episode or whatever. Now I seen some of like the female softball shit in the Olympics.
You did.
And I saw Zane. I swear to God, because of you, I looked and I was like, yo, who's making their uniforms? Because he said that made me really be like, yo, who's making that? Mizuno.
Okay.
Mizuno makes it, but only because he said that. Prior to that, I had no desire to see who was making that. But I thought it was there. I was like, yo, let me see who's making these uniforms. I looked, I was like, oh shit, Mizuno.
Tell you, man, Jordan coming for that softball stuff too, man.
He missed his mark with the Olympics. Imagine the press he would have got. Did y'all hear about the Mexican softball team that threw their uniforms in the trash?
Nah.
Yeah, threw their uniforms in the trash. So he would have caught some press off of that, some public relations. They, I guess, probably trying to. I think they were trying to protest something. In protest.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Now here's a person that clearly probably they have 100% creative control. Rihanna is now a billionaire, boy. Yo, makeup, Savage and Fenty. It's crazy that I'll be the first person to say it. I remember Rihanna and Tierra Marie came out at the same time, And I think Rihanna had what is it, Pon the Replay, and Tierra Marie had her song. And I remember saying to people like, yo, I really like this Tierra Marie song better. Now Tierra Marie is only impressed because 50 Cent keeps suing her. And Rihanna's a billionaire. Yo, boy, did I have that one wrong. Damn.
Oh my gosh, yo.
Yo, but that's yo, I took my cap to her. That's amazing. A major milestone.
The second wealthiest female and woman entertainer. Mm-hmm. This girl is a mogul, man. 1.7 billion.
Yo, you know what that speaks to?
That's just a cosmetic line. Son.
Women, man. Women will support women, man.
Yes, sir.
Women, man.
You got good products. Women will come out and they will give you every last dime. I don't care what it is. It could be shampoo. It could be soap. It could be bras. It could be panties. It could be t-shirts, tank tops.
Yo, that makeup industry is heavy because didn't that makeup shit make Kylie a billionaire too?
Yo, son, Kylie and Kim Kardashian. And the thing about it, they're large conglomerates like MAC Cosmetics that are out there, and they're running neck and neck with these with the upper yeah. Get that out, son. But yo, and she's running neck and neck with Mac, Lagerfeld, all of these guys, man, and she's doing her thing, man. Shout outs to Riri, man.
And y'all wonder why that new Riri album ain't dropped yet.
So she didn't make an album in 5 years.
She don't need to make an album. Go ahead, Z, what you was gonna say?
Yeah, big shout out to Rihanna. Yeah, she's competing, like y'all said, she's competing with Kim Kardashian, Jessica Alba, Kylie Jenner, and also Lady Gaga. She also is in business too. 30% partnership, majority owners LVMH. You know, LVMH
that's
owns
big.
a ton of
that's
companies.
big.
You know, and she also has her perfume line too. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just you know crazy how she's doing it. You know, her deal with Puma. So yeah, man. I mean, in the next 5 or so years, it's going to be probably triple that, if not more. And she's
a good face for black female entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and she also the key component, one of the major key components, is that that cosmetic line is for all shades of women. You know, it's not just one. It's not just one. Demographic.
Yeah,
so I definitely tip my hat off to her, man. Like Rihanna's doing her thing, and like Shy said, that R9, she's not pushing that out, to make that primary. But I heard it's going to be a reggae album, so that's going to be huge.
That'd be dope.
There's no telling like who's going to be on that. You might get some Buju, you might get some Vibes Cartel, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be dope.
Yeah. It's just good though. It's good to see the level that she's at, because for so many years I think she also was kind of like in Beyonce's shadow.
I think so a little bit. Music. Yeah. And I think that's probably why she stepped out into the entrepreneurial atmosphere to get away from music and being typecast and all that type of stuff, man. It gives a little creative freedom too, son.
Yeah.
But to me, man, I love Beyonce's music and I love Rihanna's, but to me, I always like Rihanna's music more. It just seemed like it's more diverse to me. Like when she made Shine Like a Diamond and all that other stuff, it just seems like her music touches more of a wider audience. I might be wrong, but it just seemed like her stuff is more universal. Don't get me wrong, Beyonce
a lot of music,
got a crazy catalog too, but I listen to more Rihanna music than Beyonce.
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I think it's accurate. That's fair to say. Like it's almost like that. Beyonce predominantly makes music for women of color, and women of color embrace it. But I think Rihanna's like cross genres. Like Rihanna, like you said, you have shine bright like a diamond, and she has those songs that I think that probably they will, when people look back like down the road, they'll probably be like one of them songs that it plays in any room. I guess that's the way to say it. Like it plays in any room. Beyonce plays in any room too, but there is something there. I think you're right, Zane. There's an element there about Rihanna that she kind of transcends. It's almost like her music. You know what it may be? Her music kind of has like that calypso vibe to it. And not to sound funny or whatever. Like, but yo, go to the islands or whatever. Yo, calypso transcends any race. Like, yo, people. It's like high quarter. Like, yo, she's on that wave. She'll never, because there are very few artists that'll ever reach the magnitude of Bob. But high quarter, like, yo, Bob has transcended to Bob plays in any room with any crowd. And Rihanna, I think. Where she may not ever reach that, but Rihanna could get in any room. Like, you could be in the hood and listen to Rihanna, or you could be, you know, how you call it, in the island with the people who get their, you know, they don't braid their hair, but they get their hair braided to go to the island, and they listening to Riri. So yeah, Z, I feel you on that.
Side note, fellas, what's that big song she had with DJ Khaled? Not what, last year, whatever, on the Khaled, was it on the Khaled album? Remember that Island song she had? That was big. I forgot it was her.
Wild Thoughts.
That was a big song.
Yeah, she had Wild Thoughts. Yeah. Yo, so today signified the release of Nas's King Disease 2. Feeling it or nah? What are you guys' thoughts on it? Well, before you give your thoughts, let me say this or whatever. Like, yo, this is like a really quick turnaround for Nas, because, you know, for Nas, you get a high call. You may get one every 3 or 4 years from Nas.
Yeah.
So this is I was thinking, like, I wonder if the Grammy lit a fire under him, but I don't think it was a Grammy. I think it was something else that got him in record mode now. Yeah, Rob.
I think Nas has come full circle. He's a little bit more mature, and he doesn't. Before, you know, Nas wouldn't do interviews. He wouldn't talk. He wouldn't elaborate about anything. This album, I kind of felt like it grew on me. It's growing on me, but I like a lot of songs because it sounds like Nas feel like he's opening up a little bit more. He's not being in the shadows of his past or the shit he's been through or gone through. I mean, you listen to his joint "Nobody" with Lauryn Hill, which is my favorite joint. That right there it encapsulates an MC, and I love that song so much. Now I played it like 30 times already.
Yeah, it's heavy.
See, minute Nas is not. That's that. If you need any further proof that Lauryn Hill is the best female rapper of all time, listen to that.
Listen to that. Listen to that closely, man. There's some jewels. And then the album, the project itself, Pressure, Death Row, Rare, Moment, Store Run, the EPMD joint. I love all of them. Might be the Charlie Wilson shit I can do without.
Yo, I got Charlie Wilson. When you said Charlie Wilson, I got that down as the. I took notes on it. I got Charlie. The Charlie Wilson joint, not a fan of it. Like, I think he tried to recapture the magic from the first King Disease.
Yeah, you know, I just
didn't think that was a good song.
Charlie's voice, I'm done with Charlie's voice right about now.
I like Charlie Wilson. I like on that song. Like, to me, overall as a project, I thought it was a good project. The song I like the least is the Charlie Wilson joint.
Yes,
there's other songs on it that I listen to. I'm like, these are enjoyable, and there's other songs that I listen to, like, these are my standouts. The joint that I find that I really like is I like the Death Row East joint.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. I like 40 Side joint, and I like, you know why I like 40 Side? I like the 40 Side joint because I like the fact that Nas now has realized, like, yo, you have to flow. You have to switch up your flow. So now on the 40 Side joint, he's doing a different flow.
Yeah.
The EPMD joint.
Yeah.
I love the original. The second one I like also.
Eminem destroyed that shit too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I listen. You know what? I listen to these records, and I also listen to like the production aspect and the recording aspect or whatever. And I love that song, but how you call it, like the mix of that song, they could have did better with. Like if you guys go back and listen to it, the mix of that song is just like that shit is all over the place.
Choppy, it's a little chopped up.
Yeah, I was like, but Eminem did murder that verse. That was a hell of a verse by Eminem. Rare, it was an enjoyable song to me. I was like, okay. I like when the beat switches up better than the original.
Right.
YKTV with A Boogie. You know,
I like that.
I like. You know why I like that? I like that because that's what I've been waiting for from Nas. That. Even though I didn't care for Spicy so much off the last album, but I think Nas needs to embrace these newer, younger artists and be willing to collaborate with them and take risks like that. And I think that's what Hit Boy has got them doing, to actually be open to doing some of these collaborations. The Store Run, I like that sample.
I like that sample.
Moments,
my shit.
Moments, I like, it's enjoyable, but Moments to me feels like a song that I've heard Nas do so many times. Like, you know, I don't know if you guys remember when Nas did the joint with Chrisette Michele.
It comes a day in your life.
Yeah, which was hard. Yeah. That's hard, yeah. But it's just like, it to me, I'm like, all right, this is a song that you've done a couple of times too, already.
Hey, yo, Sha, real quick though, that song he did with with her, that's like a Christmas feel type song to me.
It is.
Yeah. It's the old Nat Cole jingle too.
That's exactly what it is, yeah. No, Nobody, Lauryn Hill, we already talked about that. No Phony Love, nah, that's not it. Brunch to me is
your Sunday brunch is cool, son. I like that.
To me, I'm like, it's an enjoyable song. It didn't really move the needle for me per se. I'm like, okay, this is enjoyable.
I like it though.
Count Me In, I got down as enjoyable also. Like, okay, it's a good song. Didn't really move the needle. Composure, I like. Composure surprised me. I was surprised that Hit Boy was able to put together that good of a rhyme.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Composure is the joint with Hit Boy rhyming first. I was like, yo,
that's a nice song, right?
Nah, it's more after that. It's then after that's My Bible. My Bible.
I like Bible.
Classic Nas, and then afterwards, Nas Is Good. I put enjoyable also. You know, like, so I think that what I see,
a good project.
What I see happening with Nas though is I think that Nas is definitely realizing that, you know, as times change, you got to work with these younger dudes. Think about his last two albums. He had Dirk, how you call it, Anderson .Paak, Fabio Foreign, how you call it, this kid, the Kid Blast, Big Sean, like, yo, he's, you know, all this stuff is but yeah, like understanding, like, yo, you have to embrace these newer artists. And then the other thing what I see is Nas is I think that Nas is actually finally starting to get to a point where he's trying to make music for other people instead of only music for himself.
Yo, the key to Yonkers, yo. They got a key to the city today.
Damn. Yeah. So I
shout out to the lot.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this before, and I was saying, I think Zane, you were saying something like about a Firm project or something like that. Yo, if you catch Nas got a line in one of these songs where he says something like, yo, the greatest creation I ever had outside of my kids is boundaries.
I heard that.
I told you that, like, yo, I've watched, yo, for years, like, yo, dude has got real good at how you call it, like, yo, tagging win, but then you out kind of thing, or whatever. You know, so what are your thoughts on that one, baby?
I think overall it was a solid album, but I think with that album, it still has to grow on me. Like, now, give me I like the album. Like, same thing with King Disease. Like, even though I'm like one of the biggest Nas fans, it took me a while for even the King Disease 1 to grow on me. But I think with this particular album, he's still, like y'all said, experimenting with sounds, trying to like you said, Shab, make music more for others and not himself. But I think the core, like the real Stone Cold Nas fans, like us three are, we still waiting for that Primo produced album, or even Alchemist or Lost Professor. But Nas did a good job of balancing out. He made a mature album that can still go old school, new school, and in between. So it can capture the 80s, it can capture the 90s and the new generation. But overall, like, I definitely agree that Charlie Wilson joint was like a force. Like, it's like they forced it. Like, I would have loved to hear, like, even if it would have been like Donnell Jones or another Anthony Hampton track, something like that, or maybe even
or Bruno Mars. I mean, somebody different.
But you know something, you know why I went to that? Because I don't know how y'all felt, but a lot of people love Car 85.
Oh, yeah, no, I love that, but no, but I'm saying this time when he did it, he could have left that joint alone. Like, Hit Boy should have told him, like, nah, because you know, like, every time when artists make these albums, they have a big catalog of songs that make it and a whole bunch of songs that don't make it. He could have whatever song that or songs that he had that didn't make it. Hit Boy should have told him like, nah, supplement that. Okay, it was good with Charlie Wilson, the first King Disease, but do something else, man. Like, and to me, the one thing that the big difference between Nas and Jay, I respect them both. They in my top 10. Is that when Jay does a song with an R&B feature, it's more of a feel good, more to dance to, more kind of like commercialized, and Jay can put it with it. When Nas do it, it's like, okay, if you're in a club dancing or whatever with a chick, Nas R&B joint, come on, you gotta be like, you gotta sit down at the bar and be like, sit down.
Yo, you know why? You know why? Probably because when he did an upbeat joint, he get flamed for like that "You Owe Me" joint.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that's like one of my worst. One of the worst songs he ever made. I don't like that. I don't like the joint he got with Aaliyah either. Remember the joint Aaliyah? You Won't See Me Tonight.
Yeah, I like that joint. That joint was. I like that joint. I ain't gonna front. I like that joint.
But I'm biased because honestly, I don't like blatant commercial attempts. Like I don't like when people you like. All right, you clearly you wanted to make this song to get on the radio. Like to me, some of the best radio records are records that people recorded and the radio embraced it, picked it up, and was like, yo, all right, we gonna make this. Radio made it a radio record, not that you set out and try to be formulaic and was like, yeah, I need one.
Yo, Nas' two biggest joints that he made, song like I don't hear Car 85 in the clubs or not clubs, it's pandemic, but I couldn't picture that jam in the club. But I think one of Nas' best songs he did with an R&B feature was Mary J. Blige, the love song, Love Is All We Need. Yeah. And maybe like some other joint he did with somebody else, but to me that was like his biggest R&B feature.
You don't really have club records. I mean, he got Hate Me Now. Nas is like, you got Hate Me Now. Nas is like, If I Rule the World. You know, like, but he's not.
No. Shot.
Lauryn Hill. That's it. Just think with Lauryn Hill.
No, that's the biggest one, Rob. You're right. If I Rule the World. No, but the second one, Shy, what you said with the Christmas type feel song. That's one of his. I think that's probably his best. Besides,
he got some nice joints. He got some tight joints with Amy Winehouse too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like Cherry Wine. I like Cherry Wine. Cherry Wine is nice.
Cherry Wine. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Cherry Wine is nice. So overall, like, I think what you're saying is true, Zane. Like, I listened to it already. I listened to it 2 times, but it's something like that. You know, like you have to sit with these albums. You know, I always bug when people hear an album one time and dub it a classic. I'm like, yo, how could it be a classic? You know, like you gotta sit with it. I listened to it 2 times, and the first time I listened through it, I was like, okay, this is a decent project. The second time I listened, I was like, okay, I see what he's going for with it. You know, but there's songs that have to grow on me. Like that, I said, like there are songs to me I listen to, and I'm like, all right, this is an enjoyable song, but it doesn't move the needle for me. And I'm sure both of y'all, you've heard records like that before that you're like, all right, this is cool. You know, but you don't, it doesn't wow you and knock you out of your seat. Like, oh, this shit is dope. You know, so
it doesn't. Certain songs got to have the rewind factor. That's what nobody did for me. That was an instant rewind. I wanted to hear that again.
Death Row East to me did that.
Yeah.
There was so many gems in there, man. Talk about the pop stuff. Yeah.
But the only thing about that, also, even with that song, when I was listening to it, I like the beat. I like the fact that Hit Boy got Nas rhyming on beats that previously he probably wouldn't have rhymed on. But I also was like, yo, that story's been told. Like Nas has told that story before too. Snoop has told it. So many different people have told that story also. So it made sense, I think, for him to put it on wax. You know what's one critique that I have for Nas that I think that he need to do less of? Like I don't know if he's a person who is uncomfortable with quietness. But if you notice, if you listen to them songs, all them songs at the end, he feel compelled to talk on, or if he don't have instead of a bridge, he'll start talking before the hook come in and all that shit.
That's why I thought this was a much more mature album because he doesn't open up. He's very secluded. He's very personal, and he's mysterious. You gotta read between the lines when you listen to Nas a lot.
Yeah, I just think that how you call it, like, you know, like I want to hear you rap. I don't want to hear you talking in the middle, like, yo, you got the beat is flowing, the shit going, and then all of a sudden you bust out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story. Because me and Pac was this, that. I'm like, yo, bro, you could have just put that, put that in the rap.
Say it before a bridge. Save it for a book.
Yeah, make a bridge. Like, yo, make a bridge. Yo, I tell you, yo, this don't sound bug to you. One of the best written songs, and I say best written, but not written from a point of lyricism, but best written is, I don't know if you guys ever heard Wiz Khalifa, I Roll Up. Remember that song? I Roll Up. It's Yo, that song is produced by a producer named Stargate. And that song, Wiz Khalifa is rapping. He raps 12 bars. After he raps those 12 bars, 4 bars, he proceeds to put a bridge. And then he has a hook afterwards. And then afterward, he rhymes again. Then there's a hook, there's a bridge. It's melodic. Like, yo, people are good rappers, but they're not great songwriters. Like, yo, if you want to take the next level and transcend to being a songwriter, like, listen to some of these dudes. That's what this generation honestly has over our generation. Like, they understand melodies a lot better, and they understand the concept of, yo, okay, we need a bridge, we need this, that, or whatever. Like, in the middle of a song, you got a fire-ass verse. Arrangement, yeah, you got a fire-ass verse, but then you want to start talking like, yeah, yo, the bars is crazy. Like, yo, this dude's spitting, and the next thing you break out, yo, 1988, I was in the back of the project building, and you know, Lisa Lee burnt me, but yo, I'm back. And then the hook come in, you like, yo, what the? It's like, yo,
that's what beat Dipset arrangement, man.
Oh, what? Yo,
I think that's the one. I think that's the one main thing when you have. Don't get me wrong, Hit Boy did great on King's Disease 1. He did good on this one, but I think Shannon, you definitely hit the nail on the because what it is that, say if it was an all produced album that DJ Premier put out, DJ Premier wouldn't allow Nas to play himself and do that. Now Hit Boy, seriously, because DJ Premier is more of a seasoned veteran. Hit Boy is a Nas fan that's saying, okay, he's probably still coaching Nas on certain things that he might have left out or should have added in.
He's giving him ultimate respect.
Premier has such a crazy catalog and intuition as far as the overall sound. Like, he's like, okay, put it this way: the two producers that would not let Nas do what you just said, to me, is Dr. Dre and DJ Premier. Because they're sonically too in tune to even let Nas do something like that. They would have said, nah, Nas, you know, you're doing too much, cut that out. Let's do some edits.
Or they would have said, yo, how this gonna play on the radio, or how this gonna play in the club. You just bust out, motherfuckers is dancing, and you go into a sermon.
Right.
Yo, but yo, to speak about like him with a DJ Premier album, like as a fan of DJ Premier and a fan of Nas, what I like to hear, yes, but high caller, like, I don't know if I would want to hear an entire joint. I would honestly, and this is us just trying to, let's be real.
It's gonna sound like a gangster with Nas.
Yo, let's be honest. Yo, we just trying to recapture the magic of Illmatic when we start talking about him making these albums with all these people. Like, I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to hear. Yo, I don't want to hear Nas' next album. To me, if everything is all Hit Boy produced, it got to be out of this world. Like, you know, it's like, to me, it's like it's exhausting the sound or whatever. Like, I don't need you to be Michael Jackson and him to be Berry Gordy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I need you to high caller. Like, part of his transition should be, yo, all right, now you done went out and you saw that everything, like, because Nas is very much like, yo, okay, it's all Salaam Remi. Okay, it's all Trackmasters. Okay, now it's all him. Okay, it's all Kanye. Like, nah, man. Like, yo, go out, and that's one of the biggest criticisms that he has, that he doesn't know how to pick beats. But yo, you can't pick, if you don't feel you good at picking beats, yo, partner with somebody that's good at picking beats. Like, yo, have, what's the name, associate executive producer. Yo, to me, Rick Ross is a dude who good at picking beats. Like, yo, there's so many different people that he can get good beats from, even if you don't have the beat ear. That could probably come like, yo, I can hear you on this or this, that, or whatever. But I don't want to hear no all Swizz, no all RZA. I don't want to hear that shit or whatever. Like, yo, go get other people. And yo, I'm serious. Go get some other people. Get your ear together and high call it, because at the end of the day, like, yo, when I listen to an album, I want the album to take me through chambers. Like, I want to be up. I want up tempos. I want slow. So I want it to move. And sometimes when people get locked into working with one producer, and that one producer sound, that shit just high quality plays like one long song.
Yeah, one vibe, man.
Yeah, you know, you need to be sitting there and be scared this shit in your car when the RZA beat come on. Like, oh shit, damn. You need that.
You know what it is, though? You know what I think that is, yo? King Disease Part 1 came out. Hit Boy produced all of it. He got that Grammy for that first album. Now keep in mind, his name was Hit Boy before he had the album. I mean the Grammy. So now that he got the Grammy and his name was already Hit Boy, he think whatever he put out is gonna be solely for Nas to hit a home run with, but that's not the case. To me, I gotta listen to that joint at least about another 2 months, maybe late third quarter this year to really appreciate it. Because like I said, King Disease work, man.
I heard more Nas. I heard more Nas input on this album than Hit Boy's. Hit Boy's input, I think, was on the first King Disease. On this album, I heard a lot of shit that Nas probably told him, "Yo, I want this sampled. I want this that way, and it's that or whatever." Because Hit Boy usually, like, I could tell the songs that Hit Boy came with and was like, "Yo, these are the joints that high core," and I could tell the joints that Nas had his hands in, like the joints, like the moments and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and, like those are the joints. I'm sure that Nas is probably like, "Yo, hold on, you got that? Yo, turn that up. Yo, I want to get on that, or whatever."
So tell me this real quick, fellas. Like, don't get me wrong. Big shout out to Griselda and them. But I heard Hit Boy did Benny the Butcher's album. Was Benny the Butcher's album beat selection better than the King Disease 1 and 2 for the most part?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Because they said
Benny the Butcher's latest album.
Yeah, I think the last one Benny dropped right around when King Disease came out. Because Hit Boy put them both out around the same time, and he did all the Benny the Butcher stuff. I heard it was a good album. I just didn't hear it.
Right. It was okay.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I like Hit Boy as a producer.
Yeah, he's another one. Like, I love to hear him on different production. I mean, the producers that Griselda is using, they putting guys on that you know what I'm saying, that aren't the everyday names. So
yeah.
But I would love to hear him with some of the greats. I would love people to work more with Large Professor. I think he's
me too.
Yeah, man.
Me too.
He has a melodic way of keeping a rhythm going. Like, his beats make you really bounce, man.
Yeah. Alchemist, Ayatollah, like, yo, them are dudes that, but you know what it is? Those are dudes that is probably harder to pick to get a hit record from.
Even DJ Scratch, DJ Scratch, he's responsible for all Busta shit. Everything, all Busta hottest shit is coming from DJ Scratch.
I never knew that.
You didn't know DJ Scratch was producing for him?
Nah, hell no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nah, DJ Scratch get busy. DJ Scratch get busy. So overall, another good project from Nas. I'm happy for him because he strung two back to back good albums. Like I said, like, yo, if there's I don't need a third King's Disease. You know how you call it? Like,
no.
Like, yo, let's go. Let's
KD3. You gonna see a KD3 soon?
Keep the momentum going. While you hot and while you excited about recording and collaborating with young artists, and take that energy, high quality. And I'm not saying you don't hit up Hit Boy for 2 or 3 tracks, but yo, maybe you get 2 or 3 from Hit Boy. Maybe you get a couple from Large Professor. Maybe you get some from Primo. How you call it? Maybe you tap Swizz for a track. Maybe you go, like there's high quality. Like, there, even I would even say that. Well, maybe you go back to Trackmasters and get one. Like this. Yeah, like, but I don't want to hear another whole joint where I'm like, all right, I could put in King Disease 1 from King Disease 1 to King Disease 3, and it's the same track playing nonstop. So, yo, in other news, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but after doubling down on his initial statement, the baby basically has apologized. He issued a statement apologizing for the comments he made while he was on stage. What are your thoughts about that? What do you think, Rob?
Well, I know why he apologized, because he's losing all that money. Governor's Ball, Lapapalooza, Park Life. These are major festivals, man.
Yeah,
that's major exposure. I looked at the pictures of the Lapapalooza. My God.
Yeah.
Everybody got COVID out that motherfucker.
It looked like, don't it look like when that video they always show a DMX performing for the world?
Yeah, son. And that just made me think of what we're going through today. All them people all up on top of each other. But I'm just like, they still made that shit happen, son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But this dude, you know, his words, you know, said they were very inaccurate and harmful. You know, talking about HIV patients. I mean, you got to be mindful, man. You're a public figure, man. You got to be, not that you should censor what you say, just be mindful of what you say.
Yeah.
And that, you know, even he's dude even got Miley Cyrus stepping in for him, so he wanted you're feeling bad about, you know, because I guess people really liked him.
Yeah.
People really like him on and off the stage. And, you know, for whatever personal reasons why he said what he said, people see the backlash and the removal of him from the public eye or from that spotlight he was in. He ain't in it no more.
Yeah.
You know
you think he should apologize, Zane?
It's freedom of speech, but when it comes to something as crazy as HIV and all that, which killed millions upon millions of people, you have a lot of people who family members died of that, or friends, or close, or just associates or whatever. And then you have a lot of people that's in Hollywood that calls the shots. They got family members and friends too that died of that. You might have somebody that owns that particular property where they have these big festivals that lost a family member to that or whatever. So, and then for him to say stuff about the, you know, the gay stuff and all that, which to me, I feel that there's really no gray area nowadays, because no. I'm saying, no. Whatever somebody believes in is what it believes in, but don't force it down people's mind or throat of keep pushing this stuff, because you gotta figure, man, like a lot of these kids, the average kid's mind at the age of 5 grasps so much information, you know what I'm saying? And if a kid is not really knowing what is what or who they are and all that other stuff, it kind of conforms them to being of whatever they seeing on TV, or, you know, it kind of goes back to even the stuff with, like, you know, what the baby said. Number one, like y'all said, it definitely hit his pockets. But you gotta think long term, like, even though he apologized, people might not take that as sincere. I mean, I don't take it sincere, because
that's what I was gonna say. Like, yo, I don't think he should apologize. You know why? Because only thing he did was even come out even more. He's disingenuous. Like, yo, after they called him on it the first time, he doubled down. I think he shot a video and said something like he gonna say what he want to say. And then when they tap into his resources, his finances, they backpedal, and then you talk about social media and this, that. Like, his statement was terrible. Whoever his public relations person is, they need to be fired. Like, yo, I just don't understand. Like, I don't know what was in his mind on the stage to say that, because I've heard all kind of chants call to action. I've never heard.
He asked the audience to light up his cell phone, but
don't even repeat that, yo. Don't even repeat that. Giving head in the parking lot, and yo, it just, to me, it's just like, yo, dude, what are you doing? But after you were called on it, to me, if he really truly was sincere, his apology after he was called on it, he would have offered an apology. But he didn't offer an apology. He kept going because he thought he was uncancelable, and they did what they do with everybody. Like, really, you think you're uncancelable? Watch this. Hit him in his pockets.
That cancel culture for real, ain't
it? Hit him in his pockets. And now it's like, yo, now he gonna be on damage control. You know, if I was his public relations person, you know what I would tell him to do? Go away. That's what I'll tell him. I'll be like, yo, go away. Stay away for a while. Stay away for a while. Let shit cool down, or wait unless somebody else put their foot in their mouth or do something crazy, and then resurface.
Right.
Big question, fellas. I'm gonna say yes. This definitely made him a bigger artist, but it could be a gift and a curse.
Bigger?
Now, if he was a regular,
you think this was a bigger artist?
Yeah, it made his name is spreading more like wildfire.
Yes.
Now with that, it could be a gift and a curse, because people that never really listen to his music, they're gonna be listening more to his music now to catch anything else that he might have said that complements the statement that he made while he was on stage. But I figure, man, at the end of the day, like you said, Sha, public relations person should get fired, manager should get fired, but I just think that I think he's gonna put himself out of it, and what's gonna happen is that he's gonna start doing more features with people that's in that light in order to bridge the gap. That's. I mean, besides
he's gonna do a song with Elton John.
Yo, I don't think that's the Eminem tactic.
Do something like that.
That's the Eminem tactic. But yo, I honestly don't think it made him a big artist. I think it gave him a moment where he had a lot of publicity. And like they say in public relations, like, yo, all publicity is good publicity. But you don't want this kind of publicity. You know, I don't care.
That's the Iron Curtain.
I really feel like that this may stunt his growth. Like I had saw on social media that he hooked up with 50 Cent, and that he hooked up with 50 Cent, and that 50 Cent was kind of mentoring him and everything. And I think that, you know, like, yo, I don't know if this is what's going to derail his music. Like, look, I'm biased or whatever. I think that the dude got talent, but I was never like sold on that he was a great entertainer, a great rapper to begin with. So I think that his run would have eventually slowed down or came to an end anyway, like most of them do. But I just think that this is probably going to expedite it.
He's going to have a big song with people of that light, just like how Rob said. And what's going to happen is the next big award show, the next big award show, whether it's the Grammys, American Music Awards, he's going to be on there with somebody of that he talked against in them comments.
Who? Little Nas X? Who?
Nah. I think it's probably gonna be like how Rob said, like Elton John. You
said that.
Huh?
Rob didn't say that.
Rob. I thought you said.
Rob, did you say that?
I will tell you what. I'm gonna say it. the baby gonna do a song with a big name, whether it's Elton John or somebody, and he's gonna, you know, close the chapter on that, and then from there, that's gonna bring him to a whole nother
He's gonna give him a hug and a kiss.
Let me ask you this, because I feel like that the baby, I think, insulted two sets of people. Like he insulted, of course, the LGBT community, but he also insulted people that have been impacted by HIV and AIDS or whatever. And I think that how you call it, like same thing with us, like, and this is interesting. Like, so if we had somebody who came out and went on, if Eminem went on a racist tirade or whatever, or this is that or whatever, and then be like, yo, but I'm about to do this song with Puff Daddy or whatever. Me personally, I wouldn't embrace him. I wouldn't be like, yo, you good again because you rap with my man Puff. Right. And I think
that's a token move.
Yeah, and I think that the LGBT community, and I think that the people who have been impacted and lost loved ones from HIV or from AIDS, I think that they also are not simplistic in a manner that they would accept that as an apology. I think that he's gonna have to wear this stain for a while. You know what he got a better chance. You know what he got a better chance of doing that'll get him out of it? If he make an undeniable hit record, that I think will get him out of it faster than him partnering with somebody. Because people are, yo, this tokenism, you making a record, you would never collaborate with Elton John. Why would the baby and Elton John ever make a record?
No, but see, just one of y'all said it earlier that Miley Cyrus, you know, came out and said that she's willing to sit down with him and educate him on a lot of different things that he has a misconception of.
Oh, that makes it better for me.
Just like a big artist like Miley Cyrus, you never know. Her next upcoming tour, she might have this guy together with her, but they're gonna do a song together. And then what's gonna happen is a lot of them proceeds from that particular song is gonna go to a lot of different organizations. And that's the only way he's gonna clean his thing. He's gonna do something to fix that.
I can see a move.
Besides apology.
But you know something?
This cancel culture is for real, my G.
They keep their foot on your neck, and I don't know if Miley Cyrus got the key to it. Like I can't see me being like,
you know, she got pulled. She's a Cyrus, and she got pulled.
It's just like how you call it. Like I'm be like, yo, all right, Miley Cyrus is good with him. Yo, come on in, brother. You good again. Yo, all right, Miley Cyrus. You. Yo, you good again. We can rock
again. Let's go on this too. Let's go make a song together.
Now here's this is what I'm saying. Like, yo, we not fickle in that nature, but we fickle enough that if he make a #1 record and people want to party to it in the club, then they're gonna forget all the stuff he said. That's just a fact. Like, that's why I say you just need to, just be quiet, go away, go record.
People should span is about this big, they'll forget about it.
Yeah, make some good music, come out with some good music. You know, how you call it? It's always gonna be somebody in the background though that's gonna keep their foot on his neck. Because look, they still bringing up stuff that Kevin Hart said on Twitter 15 years ago. Somebody's always gonna keep their foot on their neck. And you know what? I think that how you call it, like artists and entertainers and people who live in a public life, it's unfair that you have to be perfect, that you can't never say something that's politically incorrect. Like, I think that's horrible. But I think that comes with the territory. You want to be wealthy, you want the notoriety. Like Zayn said, yo, you got all these eyes on you, people are impressionable, kids are impressionable. Yo, you got to be more responsible with your words. And if you say it and people call you on it and you believe that you bigger than getting chastised or canceled for it, he threw the nail in his coffin. He solidified. People said, oh, word? Really? You gonna keep going? All you had to do was shut up the first time. But they was like, word, you want to keep going with this? Watch this. Yo, all these festivals, endorsement deals, everything gone. They didn't put the baby in an incubator.
That nigga.
I tell you what though.
Baby got aborted. That's what it
I tell you what. I don't know how many of the festivals that he can't do right now, but he's good on that deposit. Whatever that deposit they gave him, that's non-refundable. So at least he got half of that money. But that other half of the money was all worth it. It wasn't all worth it, you know.
That's a strength-based approach. At least he got the deposit first, unless they were smart enough to put in the contract something in the contract around that, like, yo, if you do irreparable damage to your reputation or to the festival reputation, you forfeit the deposit and you got to return the deposit. But like I said, like, yo, he get around the smart people that help repair his image. You know, I haven't heard much from him lately. So maybe he took that advice. Like, yo, sometimes you just got to shut up and go away. That's all it takes sometimes. Just shut up and go away. Don't say nothing. Yeah. Don't say nothing. You know, so I don't know. But yo, this has been a good episode, man. Any closing words?
Dipset, get your fucking stage presence up. So I got this. Shout out to my wife, man. We had a great Saturday just passed. We did our first festival, Green Tree Festival. Nice. A lot of people came out, celebrated her birthday. Mm-hmm. It was a great turnout. My neighbors came. We partied all night. Man, just, if you have if anybody out there listening, man, if you have it in your heart to help somebody, man, just show somebody a good time, man. Just be a listening ear, be comfort, be compassionate. Help one another out, man. Each one teach one, man. I think that's the best way I can say that.
For sure. Gazi.
I would say shout out to my pops. His birthday was last week.
Pops.
Yeah, and just big shout out to all the family members, friends, and people that's tuning in. We're gonna continue to bring y'all some excellent content, and always just leave questions and comments or whatever, and just give us some other options of what y'all would like to see on No Ideas Original podcast, and shout outs on you.
Yeah. Yo, dope episode. Like I said, people always give me feedback and say that they like when it's just us. Sometimes more than we have a guest. And I think that's because, like when it's just us, we're usually talking about whatever the current events are. And not everybody is as big a fan of hip hop as we are, bigger fans of entrepreneurism, as we are. So, it was good to lock in with you brothers and have this conversation and build again. We talked a little everything from hip hop to Kyrie Irving, to Riri, to the baby. So a great discussion. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. We'll catch y'all next week when we have on another episode, because we're going to be back in the lab recording and getting shit popped off. So everybody have a good evening. Have a good weekend. Peace out.
Great.
Salute.